I've come to realize something about myself. I'd be curious to know if you can relate. Here's what it is. Things become more valuable to me for two reasons mainly. One is if I put effort into them. So if it's something that I make, or if it's something that I fix, something that I own and have to fix, as I put that effort in, it becomes more valuable to me. The second way is maybe even if I don't have to fix it, if it's a purchased item, but I've had it for a long time, then it becomes more valuable to me. So it's effort and time. A good example is my pocket knife, right? I made this thing 4 years ago, and you can watch the video of that right here. I just love it. It is slim. I love the shape of it. I mean, I cut out the shape of it, and I've been using it as my sole pocket knife for the past 4 years. After 3.5 years, the sheath wasn't really holding the knife in there as well anymore. So I just heated up this little section right here and pushed it down a little bit so it engages with the knife a little bit better right here. And now it holds it better than it ever did, okay? So even when I have issues, it's just an opportunity to put a little bit more effort into this thing and make it just a little bit better and tweak it a little bit more, and now it's even better, even though it has like some cosmetic wear and stuff. All that stuff actually gives it value to me. Okay, here's another example, something I didn't make. This is the head of a lamp that for most of the last 10 years has lived its life clamped to my workbench right above my vise. Okay, so that's 10 years. Let's go back 23 years and we find that when child me broke my foot, this lamp was there. What was it doing back there? Well, you know, it was also there at Christmas when I got my new Carhartt and my boots. And there it is, right in the background, providing life-giving heat to my pet iguana. All right, now let's go 25 years. This lamp sitting on my childhood drawing table. Okay, I meticulously cleaned my RC cars with cotton swabs under this lamp. Now, obviously to me, this lamp has just always been around. So I texted my mom and I asked her, where did this lamp come from? 50 years ago, my mom got this lamp from her mom as a Christmas gift. Now, not fully understanding the scale of how long this thing has been in my family, I recently took the head off of it, clipped the cord, threw the rest in my scrap bin, mounted it to my drill press, wired it in, put a new fluorescent ring light in it because I broke that years ago, and turned it on and it flashed bright once and never made light again. Then I got to thinking, maybe there were some critical components in those parts that I pitched. So I dug through the scrap bin, did some disassembly, and I found this. Now, one wire was tied to one of the AC line wires and the other wire was tied to a green wire, which is curious because when I wired this lamp to my drill press, I took this green wire and I connected it to ground because green ground, right? Now, the center light on this thing actually still works. It's operated by this little click switch and the fluorescent light turns on and off with this push button. So I could just mount it on there and just use this light and it'd be fine as a drill press light, right? Except at this point, I'm pretty determined to get it working with both the center light and the fluorescent light. So I went down a YouTube rabbit hole trying to learn about how fluorescent lights work to figure out what this thing is. And it turns out this thing is the ballast. Kind of important. Okay, so let's dig in a little bit here. I could just wire up the ballast and try it, but I think we might be able to learn more. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of studying these wires. I remember that the ballast here was tied into this green wire down on the other end of the cord, and so I'm looking at where this green wire is attached to. Yeah, I was running that center light just on on the ground instead of the neutral. Oh. There's continuity between the red wires when the push button is held down. So what is that push button switch doing? I figured it out and I drew you a wiring diagram. This push button switch, when you push it, it does two things kind of. You push it down, and when you hold it down, you're making both of these contacts, okay? So for electricity to flow, I'm push the button once and I'm holding it down. What am I doing? Electricity is flowing through this filament, back through the switch, and through this filament, and then through the ballast, which is just basically a big coil of wire. Through the coil, and then out. I'll talk about this in a second. What you're doing is you're heating up these filaments, so you're kind of preheating the environment inside of this bulb, which is gonna help it light. So then when we let go of this button, this one, after the first push, stays latched, and this one springs back. So now for electricity to flow through this, it has to go to the filament and then go through the ether inside this bulb to the other filament where it can then get to the ballast and go out. Now let's push the button again. We push it down, this one makes contact, we're heating the filaments again, but we're turning it off, so we're not gonna push and hold it, we're just gonna push it down and let it go, so we're gonna let it back go, and then this one unlatches, and this one always is just springing back when you let go. All right, so now both of them are disconnected, so power can't flow through this circuit at all, and the lamp goes out. All right, so we talked about the ballast being a resistor because it's just a big long wire. Another thing that it does is create a magnetic field, which is switching back and forth 60 times a second. And when you cut power to that magnetic field, especially when it's at its strongest, we got the sine wave of electricity. If you happen to let go of that button right at the top of that wave, that's what you're going for. You get the maximum amount of energy when that magnetic field collapses. It sends a high voltage spike out into the world, and that spike goes to the filament and helps ignite this. It helps start the lamp. Okay, so when you let go of the button, you hope that you're doing it right at the top, especially when the lamp is cold. Once it's warm, it doesn't make such a big difference. That's what the preheat's for. The magnetic field collapses, lights the lamp, and now we've just got power flowing through the ether, back through the coil, and out. This is pretty fascinating to me, and it's got to be the most bare bones way to wire a fluorescent light, and it's definitely an old way. I love the simplicity of it, and I'm happy to have learned it. Thanks for the opportunity, old lamp. I'm gonna put this all back, I'm gonna wipe it out a little bit, put it all back together, wire in the ballast, and yeah, cross our fingers, and I hope it works. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. Whew, I'm nervous. I'm gonna give it power. Okay, we got the center light. Is the fluorescent light gonna work? I can hear the ballast buzzing. Oh yeah, that's nice. Wow, that thing really buzzes. Okay, I have this piece of motorcycle tube. I just want to give that ballast a little soft place to sit so it doesn't buzz so much. I mean, that'll work right there. Still makes a buzzing noise. The buzzing noise really is just part of the fluorescent experience. I freaking got it, man. I got the light working. I'm so excited. Oh. And see now, not only has this been in my family 50 years, I've now put a little effort into it and learned about how fluorescent lights work in the process. Thank you for watching this video. Please tune in for the next one. Hit like if you liked it. Please comment. Let me know if this relates to you at all, this value of things that I have. Anyways, thanks for watching. Cheers.